here only because you were aiding others.
The original Watchers, too, were selfish. They wanted the knowledge for its own sake, not as a tool to be used. And that attitude triggered the virus.
Uh-oh, the beacon's getting ready to guide us someplace. But where?
Seems to me there's only one way to find out. Shall we go?
For those of us who are knowledgeable and know better, let's just say this. You don't have to do anything, you know what I'm saying? Because I catch myself. We gotta do or you gotta do. You ain't gotta do shit. But be you. But just being aware of, you know, again, like acknowledging the truth of dealing with psychedelics and our spiritual awakening, you know, that shit is crazy that some of us still allow for this perspective. We allow for clinical psychology and certain societal perspectives to still allow for spiritual awakenings and psychedelic journeys to seem like, you know, like a person's just going crazy, like basically like it's diagnosed from a clinical human perspective only. And that is, for one, the best way to heal something is 100% truthful diagnosis. And the diagnosis of like, oh, they took mushrooms and psychedelics. They were just seeing things. They were just hallucinating. No, that's some bullshit. What they saw was real. You know what I'm saying? Like what they experienced was real, you know, and getting to a space of like not allowing that energy, you know what I'm saying? And I guess you don't become concerned about these things till you have to face that shit, till you have to deal with, you know, having a spiritual awakening or dealing with a psychedelic journey that pushes you to the edge and has this energy of, you know, like people, you know, our society wanting to, you know, put you in this box and stuff like this. But long story short, you know, it's like these are spiritual experiences and these are truthful experiences when it comes to talking about psychedelics, you know, picking up like anything you see, like, oh, I saw this, I saw that. Like people really be seeing these things, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a fact that there are energies and spirits that exist, and it's time to stop acting like it don't and being like on some clinical psychological shit like, oh, you know, that person's dealing with psychosis. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, them niggas dealing with their inner world, their inner universe has been shown to them. And, you know, whether it's, you know, karmic energies of the past, where there's certain spiritual entities and attachments, whatever it is, they are truthfully seeing what's truthfully going on. This is not no hallucination. You know, if I have a trip or a journey that shares something, you know, again, about somebody or something, like that's truthful shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit crazy that, you know, again, like this extreme clinical psychological perspective, you know, still deem these things as, oh, a person just going crazy or a person. It's like, no, you know, these are, you know, real experiences. This is not a hallucination, you know. And again, you know, like, well, why psychedelics make people go crazy? They don't make people go crazy. It's the societal construct, in essence, that, you know, that makes people who have those experiences outcasts. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like, oh, they're crazy. They're, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, you know. And it's the overall realness of the situation. That's not to say that a person may, you know, like, say, for instance, some people talk to themselves or, you know, connect with spirits, but it's in a way where, you know, again, like they talking to themselves or, you know, or what seems to us like talking to themselves, but which I talk to myself. But anyway, you know, when you see those people talking to themselves and, you know, there is a level of quote unquote sickness to it. But the sickness is basically, and this with anything, like, whether it be a physical, cold, mental health or emotional health, like whatever it is, if it's affecting the way that, you interact with others in a fairly negative way overall, in a fairly, just say toxic way, if it affects your interactions with yourself and others in a very toxic way, then that's when, that spiritual experience, that psychedelic experience, has been, very harmful or pushing to the edge of like, what some may call crazy. But again, these people not crazy, you know what I'm saying? The more we talk about this and make this a normal thing, to keep it real about these experiences, and again, it's evident that if there are beings that act like, oh, yeah, it's just all psychosis, it's just all, that's schizophrenia, that's bipolar disorder, like, that's just straight up agent energy, you know what I'm saying? Because at this point, we know that our experience is energetic and spiritual holistically, and that, quote unquote, dis-ease, sicknesses, all these different, ailments of the body, so to speak, ailments of the astral, physical, and etheric body, you know what I'm saying? It's, again, it starts energetic first, all the sicknesses starts energetic first, again, the whole reason why cancer runs in your quote unquote bloodline or family, because energetically you were doing something that mess with your, let me think about breast cancer, but that mess with your, your chest or your heart chakra, you know what I'm saying? You may have done some shit, where you didn't acknowledge or show love to your Pisces energy, so you got gout or something wrong with your feet, you know what I'm saying? Starts off energetically, then turns into something that we could feel or see as far as, again, dis-ease or ailments, things of this nature. But again, it's all energetic first, and with any and all things, always be reminded, and this why most of us are, empathic, so to speak, why most of us could feel, is to understand, like, because say, for instance, when you're not empathic, it's easy to turn a blind eye to, all the bullshit, all the suffering, all the sadness, all the fucked upness in the world. It's easy to turn a blind eye to it when you're numb, hence why it's toxic to be, numb in essence, in that, and on that level. But, it's, see, going on rants. It's like the thought is a continuation. You just gotta stay with it. When one little step off and it's like, oh, where was I? Anyway, just understanding again, the aspect of these things starting off energetic first, and again, that's all speaking to the empathic part, being able to feel and, sense others going through things, so that's why we, make necessary changes, or we are standing on our soapboxes for certain things, is because, we have that empathic energy towards that certain thing, and again, remember, because one thing I realized, and, this is a toxic trait of, I don't want to say necessarily like ego or human behavior, but just a toxic trait in this realm of just not giving a fuck about like people having to deal with certain things, unless it's like your family or your city or your home, but it's like, man, what if that was you? You know what I'm saying? What if you was in Flint with that dirty ass water? You know what I'm saying? What if you were, so in other words, like, like to be like, oh, I don't give a fuck about, healthy water. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, look. You know, again, what if you were in those different positions, you know? And again, like that's what, you know, by feeling and sensing something or going through something, it's like, fuck, I want to provide this good or service, you know what I'm saying? Because not enough people providing this good or service. Not enough people is talking about this, that, or the third. So let me step up. Because again, it ain't about, oh, everybody need to, like, if it's something that's, you know, not say bother, but if it's something that, you know, that's dealing with me, then it's me. You know, it's like, oh, I feel like everybody should be more healthier, this and that, you know. Then let me first and foremost be more healthy myself, and let me be the one to provide those healthy options. Since again, if I'm complaining about it, then I need to be the one, or I should be, or it would be best for me to be the one, you know, either one or two things, either stop complaining or step up and do something in that area. You know what I'm saying? Instead of, you know, waiting for external savior or waiting for other people, like others need to start doing this too. You know, it's like, if you're that passionate about it, you know, that passionate about seeing change in that area, you know, you need to be the one, you know what I'm saying, that makes that change, you know what I'm saying, so to speak.